one of the things that a lot of people might not, like, I'm a normal kind of person, right? Like, outside of stream. And that's actually not true. But, I mean, I'm normal enough to where I have, like, friends. You know, like, it's not like I'm one of those people that spends all day, every day in their room and I never talk to anyone, okay? There are a lot of friends that I have. And it's good to actually sometimes see some of them and be able to get out of my house and everything like that. Got to be around people sometimes. Well, I know that. It's just like, I'm the kind of person that I can spend an entire month in my, I mean, I guess it's not a neat cave anymore. Like, because it's like streaming a job. Like, the way that I can tell if something's a job or not is that if I have to get up early to do it. So if I don't have to get up early to do it, it's not a job. Like, it's just not. Like, because that's the only bad part about my day. It's like waking up in the morning and knowing I can't lay in bed for 2 hours and jack off, you know? And it just seems like a kind of unpleasant experience to get up, eat some food, do the thing that you're, you know, like supposed to do. It's a bad time, right? But if I don't have to get up early, man, like, I could do anything. Like, I went to the IRS, because that's whenever I worked there. I went there for fun, dude. I just throw those papers around, man. I played that. I just, like, you know, did whatever the hell I wanted. I remember, you know, this is a little bit of advice for anybody that's in the real world, okay? You know, not the real world, Azeroth, but the real world, like, you like go to work and, like, they pay you and, you know, that kind of stuff happens. So here's a bit of advice. What you want to do is always volunteer for extra jobs at work, and that way you won't be expected to be competent at those jobs. So your bosses and everything will subconsciously associate you with being vaguely incompetent, but the incompetency stemming from a need to help the job and help the company. So they'll always let you do new things, they'll appreciate you, and it will be okay if you do them wrong. So that's what I always did at the IRS, is that I would always, you know, I'd be like, you know what, I'll do this extra thing. I'll do that extra thing, right? I'll be like, yeah, I'll go do security. Sure, how do I do it? And they're like, well, you just have to look at people's badges. Okay. I just sat there reading my phone the whole time. You know, like, it wasn't a big deal. And every once in a while, I'd look up and read somebody's badge. I fucked a couple of things up. They'd be like, well, you know what? This isn't your job, so it's fine. Always volunteer to do extra things, because that way it gets them in the habit of expecting you to underperform. And they won't fire you because you're doing extra things and you're willing to be flexible. So it's the best of both worlds. Zero expectations and people still like you. It's perfect. So that's my advice. I did this at the IRS for 2 years and it always worked. No, I'm saying, like, it always worked. And I would always, you know, I would always go and do the extra thing, right? And if I fucked up, it's about brain magic. And if you can work brain magic in other people's heads, there's no limit to how far you can go, all right? And how much you can, like, fuck with people's heads. Like, this is basically like, and I can translate this over to WoW too. So I'll give you an example. So let's say you're in a new guild, and your new guild is doing Gahoon, and they need somebody to run the balls. Now, you being a shadow priest, you've never run balls before, but you'll try. That's going to tell the leadership that you're willing to be flexible, you're willing to try new things, you're willing to take sacrifices for the team. And you know what, if you do it wrong, hey, Suecos, you know, Suecos. They probably won't get that mad at you. As I said, guys, I should do a video about this. Like, how to get by on the least effort possible. And then also another good thing about that is that if you have an extra job on a boss fight, people won't expect you to do a lot of DPS, because usually the leadership in the guild will understand that you're doing the extra job and they won't actually hold you to the same standard that they would normally. So you get to do the same thing, you can do it wrong, and the standards are lower. It's pretty much a win-win-win situation. It's perfect. And that's what I've been doing for a long time. How to live a mediocre life? Well, it's not about living a mediocre life. It's about putting in mediocre effort and things that you don't care about in order to get excellent rewards, right? So, I mean, do you really give a... It's like, if you care about your job, then go and do that. But the odds are that, like, most people don't really give a fuck. Like, it's not a big deal whether it goes well or not. Who cares? I mean, you're gonna go to, like, let's say, where's a place that people work? A call center, okay? Let's say you work in an AT&T call center. I'll actually tell you a story about an AT&T call center. I went to this is a pretty eye-opening experience for me. I went to a AT&T call center. It was like one of those like group, not really group interview, but you would go over there and you would take some time and you'd do a test, and you'd have to like study things, and it's basically a competency test. And I failed the competency test for an AT&T call center. Now, I don't know why I failed. I have no idea why. I know. I have no fucking clue. And it seemed like everything went fine to me. They said that I failed, and they had like a written portion where it's like vocabulary, and I knew I got all those right. And I don't know. I was like one of the first people finished, and so maybe it was like one of those situations where like, you ever take a test and you finish in 20 minutes, and you know you're not the smartest person in the class, and the smartest kid in the class is only halfway done? You know, like, it's like the same feeling you get whenever B is the right answer 4 times in a row. It's like, you know you're only gonna average out 75 at the best, right? I mean, it's fucking done. And yeah, all the time. And so anyway, I forgot even where I got, oh right, with the AT&T call center, nobody gives a fuck, right? So it was actually good that I didn't get that job, because that was during Mists of Pandaria, and I was able to play the game more. And so it was better overall. I think actually maybe it could have been during Cataclysm. I remember I didn't wear a tie to that place, because I thought there would just be too much. But anyway, so what I'm trying to get to here is an attitude to have. Now, you work at an AT&T call center. What does it matter to you if the customer upgrades to AT&T Uverse or not? Really doesn't. Like, I mean, you're not curing cancer here. You're not saving starving African children. You're not saving, some kind of endangered species. You're not helping the poor. You're not doing anything. You're upselling people on shit they don't need that they can get on the internet, on YouTube for free, right? And it's $150. And the only people that buy it are rich people and old people. Okay, that's basically it. And usually it's both. You want an upgrade because it's better? Yeah, but who cares? I mean, really, who gives a fuck? It's like, I can't imagine being passionate about upselling people on a television package. All right, now maybe I'm wrong. I saw that video of the guy who was talking about how much he liked appliances and everything.
I love appliances.
Great, I think it's awesome whenever people like their job, but that's just not me, man. Is this man using brain magic? I am. And so, like, I've actually thought about doing a new series on my stream. And this is something I haven't really announced yet. I think I maybe talked about it tangentially once, but I want to talk about it right now and say what it is. Now, Trainwrecks Tyler has a segment on his stream where him and Canute give advice to people on like different life situations. So I figured I could take that idea, yoink mine now, and I could port that over to WoW. And I could have people send me in advice on what to do in their guilds, and we could read their problems and give them feedback. I think that shit would be fucking funny, man. I would love that. Social engineering class at Asmongold. Well, that's the thing, right? Is that some of the times, like the best times that I've ever had in WoW are the times whenever I'm scamming people out of their money. And that's the worst part about Twitch Prime being free, is that I know that whenever somebody gives it to me, I don't take their money. Did I get any from that one? It's too early in the day. Fuck. Okay. That's too bad. So what I'm going to do today, right, going back to my original point, is I am not going to take any advice from chat. And I'm going to ask my mods to be a little bit better. There are these annoying fucking spurgs that can't contain themselves and they have to spam, loot! 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 Oh, you missed the loot! 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 Over and over and over, right? And that's, no, am I wrong? Am I fucking wrong? We're gonna take care of that today. We're gonna take care of that. I don't want to see that anymore. It's annoying, and the only things that I will ask for advice on are potentially, like, literally if I'm completely lost, or maybe bonfires. I don't know. If McConnell sits in and he hangs out during the stream, I'll have him transcribe what people are saying, and that way it's just gonna be only things that I need to know, right? Because I don't want to take too much advice from chat. And I want to figure everything out and do it all myself. Because I do think that it is partially true that a lot of the main points of satisfaction that I've gotten in the game were points where I overcame adversity. And the problem with adversity is the fact that I'm such a good player now that nothing can be adverse. because I just beat it on my first try no matter what. And it's like I would have beat the dragon on my first try, except for there was a bug. And that's just what it is. So I don't really know what's going to happen, okay? I'm not sure.